This here is the Clifton 9, HOKA's best-selling road running shoe, and it comes with plenty of cushion. This here is a well-used pair of HOKA's Speedgoat 5, their best-selling trail runner, and it comes with loads of grip. But what if there was one shoe that could do it all? This is the HOKA Challenger All-Terrain 7. It's apparently street approved and trail tested. Well, that's how HOKA puts it. They say it's built for that cross between road running and trail running. So could this one shoe be my do-it-all shoe and be what I use to run on the road and on trails? Could it be a true door-to-trail shoe? But let's test it out. I've got some pretty good trails in mind. I've come to Iceland to test out the Challengers. Now I thought Iceland might be a good place to bring these shoes because the terrain is so varied. And in all honesty, I wasn't sure on this trip how much running I'd be doing, if that running would be in cities and towns, or if that running would be on the trails. I didn't really have the room to bring too many shoes with me. I'm back here in Canada, so let's talk about the shoe, and let's talk about why this shoe is going to be the one that comes with me in my bag when I'm traveling or if I'm away for work. Now, the premise of this shoe, as I mentioned before, is that it can do a bit of both. There is enough cushion in here to run in the road and enough tread and enough grip to run on the trails. And so far, it really has lived up to those expectations. Now, the Challenger 7 is essentially the big cousin of the Clifton 9. And there have also been a few changes made to the shoe since the last iteration, the Challenger 6. There's been a few changes made to both the upper and the midsole. The upper is definitely more in line with HOKA's road running range, and you have the same engineered mesh and the extended Achilles pull tab that you'd find on the Clifton 9. In all honesty, when wearing them, I can't really tell them apart. One slight difference is that the Challenger here has a double gusseted tongue, as opposed to the single gusseted tongue that you might find on the Clifton 9. But apart from that, they really do look and feel the same, which isn't a bad thing by any means. The stack height has been increased by about 2 millimeters on the Challenger 7 compared to the 6, but the overall weight of the shoe is actually down by about 20 grams. Again, that is due to that compression molded EVA midsole, which is the same stuff you would find on the Clifton 9. The overall drop has stayed at 5 millimeters, so that's the difference between the height of the heel and the toe. So that's the same on the Challenger 6 and also the same on the Clifton 9. This is a drop that I'm used to and one that works really well for my running style because I do tend to heel strike. Now, the base of the shoe is where the magic happens, and that's what really differentiates this from a dedicated road runner. And HOKA have found a good middle ground here, going with a Durabrasion 4mm lug. So that's the same Durabrasion rubber that you would find on their road running shoes in the Clifton range, but with a lug length and spacing more similar to something, say, like the Speedgoat. You can see here on the right, we have the Clifton with its flat Durabrasion rubber. The Challenger is in the middle with those 4mm lugs, and on the left, the Speedgoat 5 with a Vibram Mega Grip sole. Compared to the Speedgoat, you can see those lugs are more tightly packed, especially towards the outside of the sole. The tougher rubber combined with the increased surface area makes the sole last longer and offer better grip when running on the road. On the odd occasion where I would use my Speedgoat 5s on the road or just sections of road, I could feel and hear that stickier, tackier rubber sticking to the asphalt. And I always felt a little bit guilty about using it on the road actually, because it really felt like I was wearing down those lugs much quicker than I needed to. There is no such problem with the Challenger 7, and it really is a perfect combination if you're running on a mixture of trails. I have no worries at all about the durability of this sole. I did at first have a few concerns in regards to how tightly packed these lugs are, especially around the edge of the shoe. They're more tightly packed than they would be on the Speedgoat 5. And I thought that would result in a lot of mud buildup, but in all honesty, I haven't had that problem yet. I've been using this shoe whilst away on trips, as well as running single track gravel and road here in this city, and for that it has been perfect. However, when it comes to more technical terrain here in the Canadian Rockies, this isn't necessarily going to be the shoe that I reach for, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One main worry would be the durability of the upper, especially with the lack of any kind of protective overlay around the sides or around the front. You'll find something similar to that on most dedicated trail shoes, and it just offers a little bit more stability and protection. And personally, I do love to stub a toe and kick a rock on a run accidentally. So the more protection, the better, especially when it comes to tackling scree or more mountainous technical terrain. And even though the sole, in all honesty, is more than enough for most trails, you might find if you're going out on a more technical run with a lot of rocky, wet terrain, that you're going to be wanting to grab a Vibram sole or something with a softer rubber, like the Mega Grip that you would find on the Speedgoat 5. However, the Challenger 7 does do a lot really well, and for 90% of my runs, it is more than enough. I've been using this shoe on single track hill repeats with no issues, and I've been using it plenty on the road, and it has more than enough cushion for that. I have been using this as a real door to trail shoe, and I wouldn't be worried about putting tens of kilometers on it on the road or on the trails. It really does perform well in most circumstances. If I'm heading out into the mountains and I know I'm going to be on 100% technical trail, I might reach for something else. However, if I'm unaware of the conditions of the trails I'll be running on, or if I need some extra comfort, or if I'm only able to pack one shoe in my bag when going away on a trip, it's the Challenger 7 that's going to be coming with me, because I'm confident that this can tackle pretty much anything. So if you're somebody that runs a lot of inner city trails directly from your door, or if you're just getting into running and you don't want to shell out on two different pairs of shoes for road and for trails, the Challenger 7 is a really great option. It's even a great option if you're just somebody who wants to walk the dog in the park and it's going to be muddy and you need some extra comfort. It's a shoe that's really versatile and can do a lot, so I'd highly recommend checking it out. As always, if you pop on down to a Wild Earth store, you'll be able to try a pair on and the guys there will be more than happy to help you out. That is the HOKA Challenger 7.